Nickelodeon's SpongeBob SquarePants presents WhoBob WhatPants? Adapted by Emily Solinger, based on the screenplay by Casey Alexander, Zeus Servaas, and Stephen Banks, illustrated by Stephen Reed. Are you ready? Here we go.
Good morning, Gary,
sang SpongeBob.
Isn't life great?
He asked, picking up Gary and hugging him a little too tightly. Gary let out a loud growl. Later, on his way out, SpongeBob bumped right into his best friend Patrick.
Oh, hey, Patrick. How goes it?
SpongeBob asked.
Great, until you showed up,
muttered Patrick.
That was a cake for my mom's birthday,
he continued, pointing to his chocolate-covered belly.
Thanks a lot. Now please just go away.
SpongeBob frowned and walked away. Next, he visited his good friend Squidward. But Squidward just slammed the door in SpongeBob's face. SpongeBob felt even worse than he had before. He knew Sandy would be happy to see him, but as he walked into her tree dome, he tripped and splashed water from his helmet all over her brand new robot. Sandy's face turned red with anger.
Just go,
she snarled. There was only one hope left, the Krusty Krab. But as he entered the kitchen, SpongeBob slipped, slid across the floor, and knocked Mr. Krabs and his crisp dollar bills right into the fryer.
If I were you, lad, I'd get as far away from me as possible,
Mr. Krabs barked. Miserable, SpongeBob decided it was time to leave Bikini Bottom forever.
Goodbye, Bikini Bottom,
SpongeBob called out.
Goodbye, life as I know it.
Oh, poor SpongeBob. Nice work, guys. You made him feel awful about himself. Just because of a few accidents. Nice job. After miles of walking, SpongeBob found himself in an unfamiliar place. There were new sounds and scary creatures. It was dark, and suddenly SpongeBob heard a loud noise. Afraid, he ran away as fast as he could. As he ran, SpongeBob tripped on a rock and tumbled down a tall cliff, bumping his head hard on the way down. Ooh, ouch. Meanwhile, back in Bikini Bottom, Patrick was knocking on SpongeBob's door when Sandy appeared.
Patrick, where's SpongeBob?
She asked.
I don't know. I've been knocking on his door for 3 hours.
Worried, she gave the door a quick karate chop.
Hi-ya!
Boom! The door came crashing down. Inside, an oversized Gary let out a
meow. Oh boy,
cried Sandy.
Gary said SpongeBob left a note.
Whoa, gee whiz, Gary, what happened to you? To whom it may concern, if you found this letter, that means Gary's food bowl is empty and that it needs to be refilled. It also means it's been approximately 1 year since I've split town and no one's noticed till now. No one needs to worry. I won't bother anyone again. Sincerely, SpongeBob.
He's gone! I shouldn't have yelled at SpongeBob,
Sandy lamented.
I must have made him feel really bad.
You sure did, Sandy. You sure did,
Me too,
said Patrick.
We have to find him.
Said Sandy.
Come on, let's start searching.
Sandy and Patrick checked the Krusty Krab. SpongeBob wasn't there, but there were a lot of hungry customers who wanted their Krabby Patties. Mr. Krabs was really worried. He knew that the Krusty Krab couldn't survive without SpongeBob. It's true. The Krusty Krab just isn't the Krusty Krab without good old SpongeBob.
I'm nothing without me #1 fry cook,
said Mr. Krabs.
Squidward, I'm ordering you to find him. If you don't, you'll be out of a job forever. If you do find him, this jewel-encrusted egg will be yours to keep.
A jewel-encrusted egg? Asked Squidward, looking longingly at the egg. My collection will finally be complete. I am on my way, sir. Oh, please. We all know you're just out to find SpongeBob so you can get that egg. Back in the unfamiliar seas, SpongeBob finally opened his eyes and rubbed the large bump on his head. Then he noticed 2 fish kneeling down looking at a pile of square pants. He went over to say hello. Oh, hello. We were just admiring your clothes, the fish told him. These are your brown pants, aren't they? The fish asked, showing him a pile of brown pants.
I can't remember. I don't even know my name,
said SpongeBob.
All I know is that I hit my head and woke up here.
That's too bad. Let's call you Cheesehead Brown Pants. Just then, SpongeBob felt something in his pockets.
Hey, what's this?
He said, pulling out a bottle of bubbles and a blowing wand. Not bubbles! Shouted his new friends, and they ran away. Then they ran away. SpongeBob started walking. Soon, he found himself in New Kelp City. His stomach began to growl loudly. He needed food, but he didn't have a penny in his pockets. There was only one thing to do: get a job. But his fantastic bubble blowing skills made every employer run away in fear.
I don't understand,
thought SpongeBob.
Is it something wrong with this place? Or is it me?
I think it might be the former. There's something wrong with this place. SpongeBob began walking around the city aimlessly. To cheer himself up, he took out his trusty bubbles and began to blow.
Bubbles will steady the old nerves,
he said. He said to himself. Bloop!
Feeling better already.
Then, out of the dark shadows came a group of scary-looking fish. They were big, they were mean, and they didn't want any bubbles on their turf. They called themselves the Bubble Poppin' Boys. They tried to catch SpongeBob, so he ran away as fast as he could. Oh, be careful, SpongeBob. Those guys look really terrifying. Then SpongeBob had an idea. He blew the biggest bubble ever and caught the Bubble Poppin' Boys inside. It floated far, far away with them, inside, never to return. Citizens of New Kelp City flooded the streets with bubbles in celebration. Thank you, Cheesehead Brown Pants, the mayor said to SpongeBob. You have restored bubble blowing to the streets. I appoint you the new mayor. Meanwhile, Sandy, Squidward, and Patrick continued their search.
There he is!
exclaimed Sandy.
On the cover of that newspaper.
Kelp Times. Cheesehead named mayor of New Kelp. What? Mayor? That's weird. SpongeBob doesn't know anything about being a mayor. When Sandy, Patrick, and Squidward got there, they were shocked by what they saw and heard.
Citizens of New Kelp,
Announced SpongeBob over a microphone.
I'm not exactly sure what a mayor is,
Called it.
but as long as I am wearing this hat, it will always be safe to blow bubbles in New Kelp City, or my name isn't Cheesehead Brown Pants. Cheesehead Brown Pants?
Said Sandy.
Who are you?
Asked SpongeBob.
We're your best friends.
We're your best friends, said Patrick.
Sorry, all I remember is hitting my head, blowing some bubbles, and now, poof, I'm mayor. You must have lost your memory when you hit your head,
said Sandy.
Come back to Bikini Bottom with us. We're all real sorry we yelled at you, buddy.
Yes, SpongeBob, come home. Bikini Bottom is where you truly belong.
I'm sorry, replied SpongeBob. I can't leave. I'm late for a very important meeting.
With that, SpongeBob hopped in the mayor's limousine, which was waiting for him. Good thing Squidward was in the driver's seat. Don't just stand there, he called to Sandy and Patrick. Get in! And off they rode back to Bikini Bottom. Start frying up them patties, yelled Mr. Krabs cheerfully when he saw SpongeBob come through the door.
I was a fry cook before?
Asked SpongeBob, unimpressed.
Yes, lad, the best in the business,
replied Mr. Krabs proudly.
Well, I'm going back to my modest job as mayor,
SpongeBob announced, dropping the spatula on the floor.
New Kelp City needs me.
Mr. Krabs, cried Squidward with delight. I brought back the #1 fry cook. You've got to pay up.
All right, a deal is a deal,
said Mr. Krabs grumpily, handing the golden egg over to Squidward. As Squidward walked toward the door, staring at his prized possession, he tripped on the spatula SpongeBob had dropped. His precious egg went soaring through the air and hit SpongeBob smack on the top of his head.
You okay, SpongeBob?
Asked Sandy.
Just a bit of a headache, Sandy,
answered SpongeBob.
Well, time to get to work.
Patrick, Sandy, and Mr. Krabs all jumped with excitement. They were thrilled to have him back. Everyone was so happy that SpongeBob was back home.
Order up!
He called cheerily from behind the window of the Krusty Krab kitchen. Things were finally back to normal in Bikini Bottom. The end. Remember, even if they were angry with you before, true friends will go to great lengths to find you. Also, what would you do if you had amnesia? Let me know in the comments below. See you later. Bye.